from the scrying orb, you get an overview of the area. And there's me. And my mojo. Pretty neat 3D representation. We're just going on to part 2 now. And let's continue. Those guys you don't want to mess with too much. Later you have to kill some of them, but let's not just fight things for nothing. See, I get dizzy again. Bone golems all around. Wouldn't let me get big as I ran through them, and I overshot them. It was a little glitchy. Let me get off that thing for a second. It's gonna go away. You gonna go away? No? Well, let's just go ahead and do it then. Okay, 3 of 5. Depending on how long you stay is depending on how drunk you get off of it, but it'll go away quick, and it seems like right when you jump on your mount, it just disappears. Is there one? No, that's a sparkle box. I've been through here, been through here, so where I haven't been is farther down this run, right here. Apparently he didn't recognize me until it was too late. There's one more in here. I've already gotten that one. And there's really not just one more. I think there's 3 that I could choose from, but they're all tucked in at different places. This one runs out of scale. There it is. Let's return to the alchemist. He'll give us new ones to go with that one lady's myconid area, and we'll work from there. So you can tell this is built all out of lava tubes, and then they've just added on to it and built it in quite a bit. Crystal Cave
is the lab I made in the Cave of Crystals. I was using the crystals' latent energy to charge a potion when they became unstable. I had to abandon my work and relocate here. What a waste. Take the potion to the Cave of Crystals. Hold it high in the air to absorb all the energy. It could kill them.
If you don't listen to things like that, you'll get in there and just start dying, and you won't even know why. But you have to take and pull out the crystal, which they put into your bottom hub set. So they give you an extra thing. You can watch, I'll start taking damage right here. Or you get right here, and then I even get knocked off my mount. But I use the crystal. And what does it do to the alchemist? Uh-oh. He's a Kotoa. Whatever. So let's find out here.
You have to understand. Surface dwellers try to kill us, Slotty.
Yeah, he's a slot. I'm sorry. A little different. Let's get to work. Crystal Cave is complete. He gives me a lethal memory and then whiplash. We have to fight certain ones in here.
You did the right thing back there.
Yeah, and it overshoots on its run set. It won't go, won't go, won't go. So you hit the button 7 times and then it goes zing and you don't know where the hell you are. And it's kind of all glitchy that way a little bit. You'll get used to it and the feel of it though, but there's just so many people. Okay. I gotta kill these whips. Well, bring me over to you. That's what I wanted. 2 of 3, 2 of 5. There's a whip right over here. Monitors. The oddity here is that these really are fish that have been turned into toadmen to fight for them from out of that pond right there. There's something neat coming up that goes along with that too. Now, see that green thing in my bottom slot? You actually have to use this on Koatoa, and you'll throw it out, they'll all just bust.
Fish.
They turn into fish, like I said. Here's a whip. Three of 5. And there's 2 whips. Whips are a lot harder to hit. So now I need to find groups of Koatoa. Whoop, don't get in that. You only want to do those heroics if there's a group with you. You can't do them solo in any way. If there's not a group of people doing it, you're not going to be doing it. You can see that Koatoa potion just knocks them right out. Boom, gone. Okay. Still got to test more of this potion, get it knocked out. So let me just find groups and keep dropping one in them. Yeah, check this out. I just throw it from here. What happens to them? Boom, whoop, they turn into fish. Isn't that amazing? I'm going to leave that. I've already done that. Here's some. Get in here close, fish people. And we've got it again. 15 of 20. Man, if that group is right here, we'd be on. Let's see what I can't get to over here. There was a group that used to come out, there we go, right here. Takes a second to cast whenever you do it. And then there's one other group over here. And there's that 20. Now it says return to the alchemist, but I'm going to go to living spores, my conids, and take out those real quick. My conids are actual fungus people. Yep, like mushroom type headed people. Go there. Hey, you can. You go right here and turn right. Whoa, gotta go by one of those. Now we're into the area. There's these mushroom type people. There's a group of them, if I can find it. We're about 6 or 8 in one group. So you really only hit about 3 of these groups if you find that one. Yum, 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 yum. Yum, 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 yum. I'm slightly poisoned, but it doesn't hurt me at this level. It's bad. How close am I? I gotta press it. 21 of 24. And that'll do her. Let me get on my horse. There we go. And we're going back. So I haven't really gone off into too much about folklore and stuff, have I? Well, we're getting there.
Few people on the say you didn't eat any of those spores, did you? You're not bleeding from the eyes and hallucinating like my friend here.
Yeah, apparently you don't want to eat any of those spores. Yeah, you either think you're tripping or you actually do start rotting from the inside, and then what happens is it rots you and kills you, kind of like aliens or something, and then it takes over your body, and then you become a myconid man. Yeah. So let's go back to the alchemist here.
Rick still anything. We all right.
Something fishy. We're gonna go talk to Slowpool.
You have to do what they ask of you, no matter how strange it may seem.
Yeah. This ghost keeps coming in and telling me she's an avatar. Tries to help direct you through it. Ooh, there's the new mount. Kind of looks a little silly. Oh, wait. See, there we go again. It tries to lead you to the wrong spot. Something fishy. And I go right back over to the other area. Yeah, I don't know why they keep trying to say, oh, you don't want to go with the next quest. You want to go way back and do something you never did 14 months ago. Yeah, that's the ticket. That new stuff, it's overrated. Like it says, go to Angel Head Mine there in the bottom of that. That's from way back when. So I'm not going to listen to all this, although this does have some in it. Got to complete my campaign. And after complete it, we get the other quests. Potent potions. Cure sick comatose. You gotta find these sick guys. They're like them. Although not these. And fix them. You'll see them every once in a while like that. Cough or you see bubbles come off of them. That's your only way of telling. There's another one right on the other side of this. They've cut down that net time to about 1.5 seconds, and if you're not starting to move before they even do it, you'll not get out of it. It's okay though, he's generally pulling you to him so you can swing at him. None there, none there. We've already been through that. Let's run up here with another.
I feel so much better.
3. Yep, you're cured. When one acts, they all act. Here, let's grab this whole group and get this one out of here. Second and a half, and he pulled me. Turn around one swing. Do you see that aboleth? Yeah, I have to fight him, and now you see what that splashing and bubbling under the water is for. Much akin to like a crocodile being underwater. Alligator crocodiles, and they make bubbles. Which is probably where a lot of that came from. Not knowing what's under there. Not knowing if it is bubbles from a creature or just bubbles from vegetation rotting, or what is the cause of it. 5 of 6. And there's another one right there, but I've got to go through these guys first. Oh, no, I don't got to fight these guys, huh? And probably those guys too. No? Yes. See, when I get big real quick, bam. Return to Schluber. And here shortly we're going to go look at these posts. It's one of the main things I wanted to talk to you about. So amazingly, after an hour and a half, we finally get to them. Yeah, to do this whole campaign thing here takes maybe 3.5 hours, maybe 4.5 hours, depending.
I think that's fun, yeah.
Oh. And again, we've got to clear out some space. I don't know what those outfits look like, and I'll be looking at those later. Nothing in the overflow, so legendary art. Pictographs. There we go. Go to all pictographs. Let's go talk about those. That's one of the ones I really wanted to tell you about. So I don't know how many people have been into pottery and things of ancient times. Until we got into modern genetics, we really pretty much tried to figure out who was who off of what their pottery was, because we couldn't find anything that really contained skeletal matter whatsoever. And in the process, we had to use something like pottery just to signify it. So you see that pink swirly thing in the background, right? Tells you here that Koatoa worship gods of their own creation. Oh, just die already. And he keeps healing himself. Oh, really? I missed with that? Are you serious? You can see if you're low enough, you might have to fight those guys forever. So I picked up another artifact, but let's examine these pictographs. Well, if you'll look, this is that swirly lines of corded ware. They have one kind that looks very much like this. There are also tattoos on some of those Proto-Indo-Europeans that look very much like this. And if you'll look, what we have is an eagle. Let me get in the right spot. Well, we have an eagle up there that's above the waters, right? Now that eagle symbology is kind of important. It follows through in all the Caucasian religions around there, whether it's a hawk, a forest, or an eagle, but it's that bird, again going with a bird symbology. And you hear in the Bible, whenever God's face hovered above the waters, or God hovered above the waters, and you're seeing a depiction of that right now. And what do they say? Carved into the stone is a koatoa finding a crayfish. What's that? What's so exciting about crayfish? He says. Well, to koatoa, it's pretty exciting. It's finding food. You can imagine it's almost like farming, just like people having found fish in elder days and using fish to eat. And frog legs, something people have been eating for a long time. Frog legs is not something new. People have been eating turtles and frogs and all kinds of things. But also, if you eat the wrong frog, it'll screw you up. Now, amazingly, this says that same effigy on it. Whoops. It has that same type of effigy onto it, missing the birds, but it says the koatoa is fashioning a shield. And he says, I've met many blacksmiths. So he's discounting the fact that these people are making a shield, but yet what we're seeing are a primitive type people coming up with things and trying to get an understanding on where they get their religion from and where it comes from. Again, corded ware. Carved in the stone is a koatoa covering itself in mud. That's not very impressive. Well, this is how a frog has rebirth. Every year they go into hibernation, and I don't know if you've ever tried the experiment, but you can actually freeze a toad solid. Literally freeze him solid, and then thaw him out, and he comes back to life. Did y'all know that? Yeah, nobody wants you to like take a toad and put him in your freezer, but you can prove it by doing such. We actually did it whenever I was a kid. We put one in a glass of water, a little Tupperware thing of water, and in the process of doing so, he pretty much froze solid. Oh, now we've got that. Got to heal up every damn time? No, you're not. I'm going to concentrate on you. You're gone. I feel them just so I can get over here and get this. What does this one say? Here's a koatoa throwing a net, and it says, how hard is it to throw a net? Well, it's not real hard to throw a net, but what is hard is coming up with the idea of a net. People think, oh, well, so what's so big about throwing a net? Well, this is active fishing, right? Right, okay, so we're way past the point of having to hunt or gather without a thought behind it. And then what's so neat about a net? Well, to make a net, you actually have to have made rope that's worth a damn. And then you've had to make a mesh that you're smart enough to realize doesn't let the fish that you're trying to get out of the net, right? Yeah. And so there's a lot to a net. You know, there's a lot to a gnat, too, of Anatolia. But there's some folklore that shows you there that's brought into it. And it's just symbology and blah, 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 but it's there. It's not necessarily just thrown in your face. Half the time it is, kind of, and half the time it's not. Now, here's a master of wind, master of earth, and master of water. These are kind of neat, and I should let you hear all of what they got to say. Let's hear this fantastic. Okay.
You are not ready. Oh, I thought for sure you would insist on me training you. Oh, the element of earth.
Okay, so the element of earth. We have to get this special clay earth that they use. And of course, this is clay that you'd use like as bricks. And then they talk about building a sandcastle, which is amazing because now we know in all the ancient Sumerians and stuff, they all started out with fired clay bricks, right? Now, Flug wants you to chase him. And so let me put it on Flug, and it'll line up, because that'll show you something neat. And I'll probably end with that, and then once I do, there he is waving his hands, and then he disappears. And he's on down the run, so we just keep chasing him. There he is again. Whoops, hung on a rock. Where is he at? There he is.
A lot of patience, but it will all be worth it in the end.
It'll all be worth it in the end. Here he is again. Oh, and here comes one of the cool little areas tucked into this spot. The
This
fungi
is one of
forest.
my favorite places in Undermountain.
You see how the UV that they're emitting is kind of like that blue that's weird that you see in saltwater coral aquariums, and that blue ultraviolet light. But you can also see that that's the same kind of colors you see in those luminous cave creatures that they have. Right? Makes a little sense for them to utilize that bluish color. And of course that's the highest end of the spectrum. Well, indigo gets above that. Now look at these mushrooms here. And he's here at the end of these mushrooms. Now these aren't a mushroom that one part makes you bigger and one part makes you small. These are different. Caught you. Let's go down here and here. I can go back to slow pool, but there's also these cave pools that we have to investigate. They're little pools of water, and the pools of water will have things in them. Here's that sand we had to get. That special ironite type sand. Now what's strange about that ironite type sand is that ancient glass making, of course, used just raw sand. But a recent video that I've went over talks about how much iron you can get out of sand, and you can find ironitic sand that contains a lot of iron into it, and then by cooking it off and letting it settle and pushing off the molten glass, you end up with iron, and it's possible that that's where the first iron actually came from. That, and of course meteorites, like King Tut's special dagger that was found with him. One was solid gold, and the other here's a pool of water we have to examine. A lot of times creatures will come out of this. And luckily I missed getting grabbed by that one. Probably won't happen now that I've double drawn. Nope. And so I just get rid of that threat. And here he goes healing up. Got me. Okay. Clay sand, huh? What's in here? Ah, water archon. I used to have one of these as a companion. Archons no longer do what they did before. They used to give you special damage versus somebody that's health was full, somebody's health that was half full, when your health was full. And if you get more than one and put them together, you started doing a whole lot extra damage. They saw that as being OP, even though they built it in that way. Like if you add more Archons, you'll actually get a little bit bigger bonus per Archon that you have that carries it. Okay, and then a choppy. Every time you pull me over, I'm going to chop your head off. So you might want to stop pulling me over. Or they can't. Oh god, now I pulled a whole nother group. That's the problem with this area having such a large circumference of what we call aggro, where something pulls an aggressive attitude. They see you from a distance and just go after you. My inventory's full, but that's okay. Giant crab. Bye. 3 of 4 pools. 1 of 7 sand. Let's find one more pool or some sand. There's sand under crabs. There's Feezy. I've rode dungeons with him before. Okay, black sand. Down one of these runs that's right off the side of it, they have them. As the one we just got. Let's lead back into this area because it has more of it. And finish that off. There's one. 2 of 7. None there. Nope. Look at him still chasing me around like an idiot. He'll never catch up to me. There's not any sand right there. That's one of those vent tubes. Okay, I'm just going around the perimeter, finding where they haven't done them already. There's another one down that side tube I was telling you about. Is there one right here? That's not one. That's a chest that you have to have special things to open, and I don't carry them anymore because there's not much cool in chests really anymore. And there's another one right here with all these undead, which later become a big issue. Five. There's another one in the distance here. 3, 2, 1 on my throwing daggers. 1, I do that. Java. Umbra hulks. Which people used to value amber so much. And then umber is that color of the yellowish red ochre, or yellow ochre as opposed to red ochre. And you see it in paints called as umber, right? Then we have yellow woods called lumber. Lumber like yew trees, sacred sycamores and such. Oop. Yeah, I'm drunk again. Let's just go on past this while I'm drunk. There we go. Made it out of it. You can still fight just as good. It's just looks delirious. It looks like you got watered eyes, basically. And so now we're headed back to Sloopel. And I think this is the point we built the sand castle and so on, and I'll talk about that, and we'll pretty much end here. What is this guy first? Taluga? Mr. of Water.
You saw it, huh? You are way better at this than me. You know what? You're the master of water now. Did you see
Merchants
something?
were the masters of water. And I can't pick up his thing because I'm overloaded. So let me clear out this again. Open that bag. 25% off any bag, huh? That's not going to do me a lot of good. Whenever I'm full of bags, and they've given me 2 of those in a row, but won't give me 25% off anything in the Zen market. Right now, pretty much everything's 40% off in the Zen market, though, so it doesn't matter anyhow. And I paid for my VIP for the next 60 days easy, so yep, I'm the master of water. And now, let's see what he says.
Just a few more touches to my masterpiece.
And you see his little sandcastle he built, right? So he's come up with this idea where in a toy way, playing with blocks or with whatever, and packing up, he's made a sandcastle.
Good.
Now he says, hey, you make a sandcastle and show me your capability of how you can change the ground, how you can change your environment. That shows you you're a master of that element, right? And if you'll look at that sandcastle that pops up, that is Tiras Lean. Yeah, from the Twin Towers. That's pretty much it. And so, does he like that?
That's the biggest sandcastle I've ever seen. Your will is strong, and you have demonstrated mastery of the way of Earth.
Yep. And so I'm the master of earth, water, wind, because I was able to catch that guy faster than anybody. So now I've mastered everything. And the fourth master,
You mastered earth, wind, and water.
learned the way of slime, and I've done that. And then you count down for Slowpool over here, and then come back and just talk to him, and you've got the extra set. This is supposed to be like a hide-and-seek game. And he doesn't run from you like the other guy does. 3, 2, 1, and then you run back, and there he is. Usually there's people over here talking to him, and he can't get away, but doesn't even try. Found you. I guess we're both learning new
I
things.
can't believe you found me so quickly. This is my best hiding spot.
What, behind the rock you were standing at before? Fourth master. They gave me the new great sword, and now I am the Koatoa master. They developed some respect for me, showing my prowess. Wonder if that's the way it worked in reverse a long time ago also. Let's go to my campaign, and we'll see that I'm, 1/3 of the way. I mean, it goes all the way up to here. I'm only 1/3 of the way, and no, I'm not going to continue this for y'all. I just thought I'd leave it right there and show you some of the unique things about this area that we're going through. Island of Boleslav. Oh, we've got to go to a whole new area. And I've got to defeat the Albolith. I will show you this because it's pretty cool. Hopefully it doesn't time out on me. But see, there's an Albolith way over there. See him? I don't know if you can see him there, but wiggling in the water, that giant creature. And we've got to go up here and fight him. Well, whenever we do, first you got to run around and not get attacked by these guys. And make it into this secondary cavern. I didn't let him tell you all about it, but basically he's telling you the story of it.
We have come so far. Under the river. Pretty great, right? We don't come down.
Under the river. Alright, so we need to go to the Albolith. And they cover me with Albolith slime.
Koatoa magic can be surprisingly powerful. Be sure to use it.
The magic they gave me, if you saw that, just blows everything up. Why didn't I kill the Albolith? I thought that was leading directly into it. Do I have to reach the island first? Oh man, if I do, it's going to be another few minutes. And I just drop the Koatoa, boom, they're gone. It's not reactivated yet, so I'll have to do a little something. Can you attack? God, it just didn't even attack there for 5 seconds. Now I'm stunned again. Whack. Get the hell out of my way. And what is this? Dungeoneering kit, because I'm a barbarian. I get a chance to pick that up for free. Each class has their own kits. Or you have to get these kits to open them. And it uses up a kit each time. Where are y'all going? Same place I am? Oh, we love you to bits too. Well, I can't make it through there yet, huh? Oh, magic. He comes out and kills them all for you. can see some of these creatures don't get along with each other. They're going to show you that. To war? How about to dead? No, I'm not going to stop at all just for that blue thing. We're fine. Yeah, there's a large group coming. I'm guessing I missed him with that. Really? They like to do this jump behind you thing, and if you're moving while they jump behind you, then you'll go past. Here goes that owlith. We'll crawl through here. We gotta reach the island first. Out a cave into another part. Separate. Oh, let me touch that fire. Okay.
All this violence. For what?
You just want to get past all these guys. And this river. Check this out. This is kind of a little thing you've got to navigate by. I caught it at just the right time to where I didn't have to go through too much. Oh, you see it staggering me. Really? There's somebody who didn't get killed by that? Like you? And this Durgar can be a little bit of a problem. Oh, I've got to save this guy. He's being traitored here. And everybody and their dog showed up. Now you can see how that guy's using that magic to knock me around with the water. Seriously.
Swamps blessings. Are you one of them? Ah, I can sense the elements within you. Our ritual must have... Maybe. It's guarding our ritual circle.
So let's kill that aboleth. Now check this out. He lowers the entire ocean with his magic. Control over water. See it lowering down? All the way across. So go get them. And it exposes. Look, there's some fish get caught on there. Yeah.
Make that monster pay.
It's able to raise and lower the waters. And there's the giant aboleth. Done and
Now,
done.
to open the archgate, that aboleth tentacle should do the trick.
Yep, so we grab his tentacle here. And it will let us back through the aboleth gate. Wow, I got glitched on that.
Bulbaslav's blessings. Glory to Bulbaslav. Now,
Okay, and we're headed back. Anyhow, guys, pretty neat game, and it's full of lots of lore. If you would listen to everything they said and gone out into long, drawn-out things, you'll catch little instances of them talking about things and how it all relates to each other and how you can learn off of these guys and how it works together, and they teach you about the elements, so it kind of works all together.
So gentle and quiet.
Now the next area we get to go to is an actual underground forest in a huge bubble area that's even much bigger than that one that's out there. And I think before we attach the Willowwood Gate, we run into a dragon, and we get him freed, and then he flies around for us, but pretty neat. I'm just going to take this guy back to where he goes and cash it out right there for you. But enjoy, like, share, and subscribe. Put some comments down the bottom. And again, this is Neverwinter. It's on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. And it's a free-to-play game, although you can buy your way into it.
I came to Undermountain over 1,000 years ago with Hallister and 6 other apprentices. We were scholars, pushing the boundaries of magic. Study turned to obsession, and I watched
7 of
as
them?
my friends were driven to madness. I tried to put an end to it, but Hallister imprisoned me.
The Abkalu
The
Sages.
form you see now is the result of my attempts to escape. With the gate staff of, I need to go. You should.
And here comes the bad guy. So we hide. And this is the wizard that's behind it all.
she's here. She must be plotting against me. Always.
Now, I used to have that come on 20 times while you're going through this on PC, but apparently it got real old, and so people kind of quit. The dev mods got in there and turned it off, and I guess they figured out, ooh, I get a new pants and shirt. But they kind of turned it off because it was annoying as hell, to put it mildly at least. And it kept going on during like fights and things like that. All of a sudden this portal would show up in the middle of a fight over here in the corner of your vision, and he'd come out. When he did, everything would stop, and they'd keep beating you to death while he was sitting there doing his stuff, and you had no way to do anything about it. So they kind of turned that off. There was one little area in there that it just happened far too much. It just repeatedly, it almost got locked up into a mode, and so they finally just decided to turn it all off except for that main one and the one earlier, and you see him in the distance in a few places. Now, it used to be he'd teleport all over the map that you were in, and whenever he would show up in your area. If he gets close enough, then you go through the ritual thing that they show, but again, that got to be just a little too much, and I think after what they show there, it implies it quite well. It's good enough. Ubaya.
The blessings of Joaquin illuminate your path. Excellent.
Into the Wilds, complete to Willowwood. And to go to Willowwood, you have to actually do it this way. And you go off of this ancient map, which is a wall tapestry, which also shows you the truth of wall tapestries in the Elder Times quite often. So anyhow, guys, that's about enough. I'm going to pull it up here again, and you can see we're at another stanchion point that looks just like the other one. In fact, it is. The only difference is I'm able to go through that portal to a different location than I did before. And again, we begin an expedition into this area. A little different than the last one. And you have to make it through getting all of your relics and so on. And then you have a whole nother area. And you have to go through, I think, like 6 of these before you make it through. And then there's a whole lot of lore that's in it and everything else. Anyhow, guys, like, share, and subscribe, and enjoy. Peace.